Welcome to Yunus Emre Enstitüsü in London. This is a part of Young Scholar seminar series, and I will talk about AI and Islamic Studies today. And I hope you enjoy. I'm from Turkey, from Mardin Artuklu University. I am here for my postdoctoral research. And at Aga Khan University, Digital Humanities Center, I work on the earlier Sira text, and I utilize some digital humanities methods in my research. And today I will share you with some of the examples from that field, digital Islamicate humanities. And I will begin with my talk by providing some definitions. Then I will briefly outline the process involved in our work in the field of digital Islamicate humanities. Finally, I will discuss how AI technologies have influenced these studies, supported by a few examples. It is actually difficult to describe what is digital humanities or what is digital Islamicate humanities. Still, I try to describe it, and for me, it is these are interdisciplinary studies conducted in every disciplines of study of Islamicate world, based on structured data and utilizing information technologies for analyzing and visualization with sources and research process that have been digitally transformed. So we have a new source, it's data, and we have some new study methods, some new methods we're using in that field, and I will explain some of them later. When we look at the development of Islamic literature, we first encounter handwritten text source such as manuscripts, rare books, and archival documents from the pre-printing area. With the inventing of the printing press, a new phase began, work marked by printed text and critical editions of classical manuscripts. With the advent of the digital technologies, we have entered a new phase in which the entire body of the literature is being made accessible. This phase is digitization. The stage we are currently in is digitalization. This involves a new phase in which digitized texts are restructured into machine-readable formats, transformed into data, and integrated into knowledge production process. In short, we are now in the area of digitalization. In the field of digital Islamicate humanities, we analyze the text following a specific process. First, handwritten manuscripts are converted into machine-readable formats using OCR or HDR technologies. I will explain that. Or, if the text already in such a format, we create data sets by tagging and transforming them into structured data. In the second phase, we perform editorial revising on the data sets, like handling missing data or correcting incorrect data. This phase is referred to as data cleaning. In the analysis phase, we conduct either text-based analysis, like uploading it on ChatGPT and asking some analyzing, or analysis directly on the prepared data set. While it is possible to analyze the data sets themselves, we can also analyze a single text directly using AI technologies. In the visualization phase, we create various graphs and visual representations based on our analysis. These can be generated using AI-based interfaces like Flourish, or maybe if you use Canva. or by employing programming environments like R or Python, or we can also use for our visualization some platforms like or Palladio or NodeGod for mapping the information. Pardon. Okay, so why should we do all of this, all of that new process? Why we need to follow them? To explain this, I would like to show a simple example. This is a color-coded annotation on a PDF file, a passage from a biographical dictionary. I don't remember, but it must be from Sirat A'lam Nubala. It is a biographical dictionary, and in the first line we see the person's scholar's name and his family name, title, and so on. In the red section, we see his teachers. In green, his students. And in other sections, various biographical informations. I can apply this type of annotation to hundreds of names across different PDF files. However, these works remain locked within a single document. I cannot share it, and accessible only to me. At best, I can explain my method and categorization to other researchers, but they would still need to repeat the same work on their own PDFs. Even if I establish a meaningful classification system, I cannot be able to share it in a reusable way. However, if I use a text annotation method, I can continue working directly on a machine-readable text. With the help of the text I apply, I can classify the content internally. More importantly, I can share both my tagging system and the tagged text with other researchers. For example, if you work on a huge text like 10 volumes, and if you tag the first 3 volumes and you send them to your colleagues and he or she continue the other volumes, you can share that annotations with the groups, with the other peoples, and in the end of the work you can share together your data, open access to everybody else, for everybody else. This eliminates the needs for others to duplicate the same tagging work using different PDFs. In this way, I transform the text into structured data. It becomes a data now because I classified it and I tag it, I annotated it. Make it openly accessible and enable the sharing of standardized methods. I cannot pronounce it, sorry. Moreover, based on these annotations, I can generate a data set that allows internal categorization of the information. For example, if the place name here, in the pink one, on the line third, Wasit, if you see and read, I can generate, for example, if the place name Wasit is tagged, I can later filter in the dataset under the place name and see who else live in the Wasit as well. If I noted it, if I tag it, because I can tag all the Wasit in other parts of a big dictionary, and in the end of the work, I can reach all of the names who lived in Wasit. This way, I am able to create a relational data set. An example of such a standard for biographical analysis has been developed by Maxim Romanov, and it is a model that I can also adapt in my own research. Based on the text that has been annotated in this way, we can analyze which cities became prominent in different type of periods across the wide geography where thousands scholars lived. This visualization is taken from Maxim Romanov's doctoral dissertation. By analyzing the biographical entries in Al-Zahabi's Tarikhul Islam, using the method I just described, he was able to generate this map from the book to the map. And this is an example from my doctoral PhD. I focused on the section of Ibn Sa'd's Kitab al-Tabaqat al-Kabir that deals with the life of the Prophet. In this section, I examined the relationships between the scholars who transmitted the information. To do this, I used the chains of transmitters, called isnads, and transformed this into a data set reflecting the connection between the individuals. Then, by applying network analysis, I was able to visualize these dispersed relationships within the isnads. This allowed me to see how the transmission of information evolved from the first century, from the Sahaba period to the outer period, to the third century Hijri, and to understand how knowledge circulated and was compiled during this period. Another example comes from the Kitab project, Knowledge, Information Technology, and Arabic book. This project is currently being developed by a team based at the Digital Humanities Center at Aga Khan University in London, the department that I work now. It focuses on textual reuse in classical works. The top part. The top part of the screen shows a Sira text, while the lower part is present, it is commentary, Sharh. The first one is the Sira to Ibn Hisham, and the second one is the Rawdul Unuf for Suhaili, the Sharih of the Ibn Hisham. So, naturally, it is repeated, the first text, repeated in the second one. Okay, and we saw with that analysis, we can see that which part of text using in the second one, in which part of the second one, and we can see how much riwayah, how much information added by Suhaili on the Ibn Hisham's work. And if we click on that lines, it's appear here, the riwayah, the parts, the sharing parts between two texts. We can combine the text without opening the books, physical books. We can combine the text with that method. How AI affected on our research area? For that, I need to firstly to share your description of AI. AI refers to the ability of a machine or computer program to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. These tasks can include things like understanding the language like us, recognizing images or speech, making decisions, learning from experience, and solving problems. Maybe better than us. I don't know. Okay. And of course, it is a broad field of research. And I would like to mention a few of its subfields that are particularly relevant to our domain. Those are machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing. In that point, I need to remind you, I am a social scientist, not AI engineer or something. These are interconnected areas within AI. machine learning and deep learning, I often consider it closely related, with deep learning involving more complex, structured and algorithms that allow computers to analyze patterns at a deeper level. NLP, or NLP, as you see here, NLP also captured in some cases machine learning and deep learning. NLP, or natural language processing, focused on teaching machines how to understand and use human language. It is situated at the intersection of the computer science and linguistics. Thanks to NLP technologies, we are able to perform many of our tasks more effectively. Here you can see some examples of NLP applications. In fact, we use mainly NLP-based interfaces in our daily lives, like Siri on our phones, or like Google Translate, or DeepL, or what else? If we need to buy something and we open the web page, we can see also the chat button, here, the chat assistants. All of them are based on NLP technologies. And we can use it for translation, proofreading, summarization, and so on. Based on the NLPs, NLP is a technology, it's an AI technology, and there are so complex, some codes, some complex issues that I don't understand. But why AI became more and more popular? Because we can reach AI features through some LLM models. Large language models. Large language models are based on the NLP technologies, and the most popular one is, of course, ChatGPT. We use it mostly, and we use the same thing with that large language models, what NLP did. Okay? Okay, that's good, but how do we use these technologies in our field? By applying machine learning and NLP techniques, we primarily focus on converting manuscript text into machine-readable text. The open access availability of the manuscripts, whether in PDF or JPEG or TIFF format, is not sufficient for digital research. In such formats, we cannot search within the text or annotate it effectively. To make the text usable for digital analysis, we need to convert it into a machine-readable format using OCR or HTR. The text in machine-readable format allow us to conduct any type of digital research on them, and we can convert it with some interfaces, and then we need to put it on a corpus. In that point, at this point, I would like to highlight the OpenITI project's corpus, which plays a key role in this process. Through this initiative, OpenITI means Open Islamicate Text Initiative. Through this initiative, a large corpus has been developed by converting manuscript text into machine-readable format. Additionally, many works already available in digital libraries such as Shamila. Moreover, these texts are openly accessible. You can reach it easily. If you don't find a specific text from your field within that corpus, it's also possible to include it by using OCR or HTR technologies to convert into a machine-readable format. We use what is OCR and HTR? OCR is optical character recognition. HTR is handwritten text recognition. We use OCR for the printed editions, and HTR using for the handwritten text. We also apply for AI algorithms to identify and train machines to recognize non-standard elements in the text. As you can see here, it is possible to teach a machine to recognize a word, like here on the right side, قال, it means he said, written in 20 different forms, and produce the same output for each variations. This approach applies not only manuscripts but also printed text as well, because in the manuscript there is no standard, they always change from the person to person. And in some cases it is also changed something in the printed editions. We can utilize AI technologies to solve that type of problems. Okay. One of the platforms where we use this method is eScriptorium. This platform allows you upload a manuscript that you are working on and perform transcription either automatically or manually. After reviewing and editing the text, you can export the final version in a machine-readable format. In that platform, if you upload your text, like description part, and if you write the information about your text, like from which library, which collection, etc., in the ontology part, could you see the verbs? Okay. In the images, you can upload your data, your manuscript, JPEG or PDF format, or any other formats, and it shows you it one page, and then it's this section is a pair, and you can see 3 parts. The first one is for layouts. You can do that layouts manually. And in the second part, it's a pair some lines and some shadows. When you click on that, this windows is a pair. And then you can automatically transcribe it, or you can correct it manually. And in the last part, you can see the text, and you can upload that last version of the text as machine-readable format, and then of course you can use it in any works, any methods, any platforms. Okay. Another example involves a study conducted directly on a manuscript. In this work, Taşdemir analyzes biographical sources from the Ottoman period. The manuscript is a register containing information about the official appointments, detailing who has appointed to which position, where, when, after whom, blah, blah, blah. And the text follows a relatively consistent structure. By using AI technologies, she is not a historian, she is an engineer. She used AI, by using AI technologies to analyze these handwritten manuscripts, she was able to visualize and map out the relationships between the individuals. As I mentioned earlier, large language models like ChatGPT are developed based on natural language processing. We also use these models to analyze our text. However, this requires a machine-readable version of the text, as well as carefully direct the model in how to analyze it. This is where the prompt became important, as a well-crafted prompt detailed, descriptive, clear, and attentive to structural features of the text, can lead to meaningful results. Once the large language model generates an output, we can refine and structure into a usable data set. Okay. By using AI algorithms and methods from the digital humanities, we are able to transform our raw text into structured data, and we reconstruct the historical context of the text by transforming dispersed information in the works into related data. And we can analyze our text macro micro level. We can visualize them, and sometimes a visualization explain something more clear than our text, right? And these methods bring us to an interdisciplinary field of study. And thank you very much. That's all. Thank you. If you have any question, yeah.
Thanks so much for your productive presentation.
Thank you.
I'm also studying, not also, but I'm an economic historian. And
Oh, great.
I'm studying archival documents. But the problem is with me, there is no standard
Archives, in the archives.
document as you show.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. My question is, you use some platforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, instant platforms. Mm-hmm. You enter it, and you can use this kind of documents for your study.
Mm-hmm.
What do you advise for the scholars who do not work some materials like this kind of standard documents? I mean, for example, how do you see the percentage of usage of ChatGPT in the
OCR or HDR?
Yeah, OCR. I mean, to me, ChatGPT does lots of things like OCR and translation. I'm curious about what kind of other methods you can advise us for studying on the archival documents, especially.
You mean handwritten, of course.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Could be handwritten or another.
Archive more. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Good question. There are actually many platforms. I just showed it because I generally use the e-scriptorium, and it is a part of OpenITI projects, and their aims to translate the handwritten text to the mission-readable format. And they worked on Arabic, Persian, and Turkish text. So all of them are related with my field. So I generally prefer to use it. But there are also other HTR and OCR platforms like Transkribus, or in Turkish, for Turkish archives, for example, in Turkey there is a company generates some models for archival documents, like for Divani or some complex text, and it's osmanlıca.com and Müteferrika. I think you know all of them. There are many platforms and they are very useful. ChatGPT or Google also generates something for OCR and HTR when we upload our text. It can be converted, but the issue is here. In that type of like ChatGPT or Google, I didn't try them, so I don't know. But if there is a big model, if there is a good model behind that platforms, it can be useful. But this type of like e-scriptorium or osmanlıca.com, those are created for that what we need directly, not something in general. You know, you can upload ChatGPT handwritten Latin alphabet, maybe it will be easy, but if I don't know if it is successful for Arabic scripts. So it can be changed, or it can be changed if it is printed or handwritten. I think the most important thing to search about how many platforms exist in that field, and try one by one, and then you can use which one is more useful for you. You're welcome. Yes.
How much we are talking about in Turkey? How much are the? I want to understand the amount of documents in Turkey, the Ottoman historical documents. How can you measure it? How many pages or how many kilograms we have? This is the first point. Second point, is everything ready in digital form, or the government is working on it? The third point, the last point, you saw the OCR, somebody human should come and check word by word if it is correct or not. My question is silly. No. Is it quicker to use OCR or quicker to type everything from scratch?
Good question.
You can hire army of typists like in the 60s or 50s. They can type all the historical documents. Yeah?
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
It's one process instead of doing OCR and then spending time checking every word and then correcting.
Actually, in the end of the day, they became same the time. It is a big issue in that field, in Islamic digital humanities. The time, managing the time is the biggest issue, I think. But I still prefer to do it in digital platforms, because in any case, if we would like to analyze the text, we need to convert it into another format. So why we do it at the beginning? If we do that on that type of platform, in the end of the day, we can download TXT or XML format, download the text in TXT or in XML format. But if we do it manually, we can do that, of course. If we do that, I don't know, we need to more and more effort after the transcribed text.
Now, sorry, I misunderstood the question. Once you do it manually, it is already digital. You can do anything with it. You can do PDF, everything. The purpose of OCR is to make it in typed form, in digital form. I'm suggesting if you type everything, that's digital form. It becomes digital.
In that point, maybe we also turn off the digitization or digitalization. What is digitization or digitalization? We can have a text in digital form on our computer, but it doesn't mean that we can analyze it with like ChatGPT or if I understand correctly.
We can analyze it. Once it is digital, we can create database, we can make text analysis, we can do everything. When it is
in which format you mean? For example, in Word, for example, or
even in Word, because there is software, read Word and then create database from the Word, and then become analyzed. Once it's digital, because the purpose of is OCR, you put it in Word or in digital format, and then you can process it and you can create database from it. Like Quran now, you can see how many times Salat mentioned, because Quran they put it in database and then.
Yeah, it's already on ChatGPT's memory. Yep. And the other questions.
The size, the amount.
I have really no idea about it. I am not Ottomanist, by the way. My field is Islamic history, and I mostly worked on the earlier period until the Mamluk period, the first centuries, and so my focus on basically on that genre and that time, and it is actually too difficult to count them because there are many manuscript libraries in Turkey, and the many, printed editions from the Ottoman period. It is a huge literature, and also it is not limited on Anatolia and in the other part of the Balkans. Yeah.
Millions of documents.
Yeah, and there are archival documents, handwritten manuscripts, and there are many type of
missing documents.
Yeah, missing documents. So it is huge. It is difficult to give a number, give an amount about them. And the other one,
That's it.
about the government. There are some good news. Especially in the Süleymaniye Library, the librarians make so a huge effort to to work on.
Trying to digitize it.
Yeah. It is important, and there are some scholars from Fatih Sultan Mehmet University, for example. They worked on manuscripts as a group of academics. There are many groups, many individuals work on that literature.
Project related to court records. Fatih Sultan Mehmet Üniversitesi and 1900
Great. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you for your talk.
Thank you.
Thank you for your talk. It was really interesting. Maybe my question is more of an Islam and AI studies question as opposed to an AI and Islamic studies question. I'm not sure, but I guess I'm interested in the field of Muslim thinkers and AI ethics and what it means to be human, I guess. If human beings are unique because of our cognitive abilities, our abilities to understand, our intelligence, Allah taught us the names. And now we're kind of handing that over to machines in quite a large sense. But is human intelligence more than just data processing? And you talked about turning text into data, reflecting on the Michael Rosen poem. First they said they needed data about the children to find out what they were learning. Then they said they needed data about the children to make them sure that they were learning. Then the children only learned what could be turned into data. Then the children became data. And I feel like potentially books are more than data, words are more than data. And although, yes, we have, NLP now, large language models, which we're sort of almost handing over our intelligence to, and in many ways losing confidence to analyze text. I see students are terrified because ChatGPT can write it so much better than they can. So I guess my question is, whilst we're pursuing this huge data extraction and data analyst, what's the purpose and how do we ensure that we're centering human beings, centering human understanding? And what is the essence of human intelligence and the Islamic perspectives on that? So that's a lot, I know, but maybe, I don't know, are you reflecting on that? How do we create, are we creating multidisciplinary teams in order to understand this? Are we handing this all over to the engineers? How are we going to go about this if we're really moving forward into the 21st century where AI is, it's invasive in every part of our lives, and now it's sort of invading Islamic texts, if you like. How do we ensure human essence?
Thank you. Great questions.
Sorry, I can't.
No, please. It's great. Thank you. And I share your questions as well. I have the same questions. I ask the same questions as well. To be honest, I generally focused on the practice part because I needed to do that in my PhD, and then I give some lectures about that, and technical lectures, and in philosophical and ethic parts are huge for me actually, because there are many argue in the field of Islamic philosophy, and the scholars from that fields, they are argued about the transhumanism and digitalization's effect on our existence and or our beliefs, and also there are some ethic problems, basic ethic problems as well. But it is, to be honest, I cannot give you a, a clear answer for that. Sorry, but for me, in my research, I generally said that we are firstly social scientists in that field, and without social scientist perspective or without Islamic studies perspective, we cannot do anything correct in that field, in digital humanities, in digital Islamicate humanities. If we work on a text and if we generate a model, an AI model, even it's like a great work in for engineers, it should be meaningful for me, and for that I need to put my perspective as well in the field. This is important. This is most important part than the others, because the texts are the same from Shamila till now. We have the same text. We don't change the text, but we change our process. We change our methods. But to generate a new method, a new perspective for the next generation, we need to put our perspective in the field as well. I don't know if it's an answer, if it's enough for you, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, please.
Hi, thank you very much for this insightful.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask, given that we have artificial intelligence now to analyze text, thank you so much, analyze text and translate and transcribe, how do you see the future of Islamic studies? Will it make it more resourceful? Will scholars produce more books, more texts, more studies? Or, how do you see the future of it?
Important as well. Actually, it is started to change something in our fields. Like we get used to like electronic books or some electronic journals, but after that work, after that type of projects, we need to publish our data sets, or we need to publish our visualizations, or we need to publish our Python codes. This is new, something new for us, and this is something new. But I think the digital humanities methods will dominate the field, as I saw. Even we don't prefer to work with that methods, we will need to know that, because somebody do something in our field with that methodology, and we need to understand them. So in any case, we need to learn it, and for me, it must be a part of the educational system. The methodology must be a part of educational system. Even we prefer using this method or not, we need to learn it, in my opinion. And there are many big projects in all the fields, all the Islamic fields, like fiqh or hadith or tafsir and Islamic history, and nearly all of them are ERC projects, for example. In Turkey, lots of them are TÜBİTAK projects. Those are also important. So the fields start in high level. The works started in high level. And I think it will continue like that. And but it doesn't mean for me this is something totally different from what we did before. It is not basically so much different from the conventional methods. But it gives us something new, like if we generate a data set, like my example on VAST, if we generate a data set, there is something important. There is a relationship between the data and the context of the text. We cut a part of the text and make it data. And we actually take it from its context. But in a data set, we had a new and other context. We can use it to ask something else. So we have both now. So it will be more important, I think. I don't know if it's clear or not. Thank you. And who else? I think, yeah.
Thank you so much. Really interesting talk about digitization and thank you. I just wanted to ask what you think is the most interesting and valuable thing that will come out of this digitization of texts.
Sorry, could you please repeat it?
I was just wondering what you think is the most interesting and valuable thing that will come out of this digitization.
You mean the Islamic and humanities? Yeah. Maybe because I worked on a text now, and text editing is more important for me, because we are more, I feel that I am, how can I say that? Daha fazla işin içinde olduğumu hissediyorum. Yani I'm more effective in the process. I feel that. Maybe because as I said, I said that because I am currently work on a text and text editing. But all of there are geographic information system, text analysis, social network analysis, and what else? AI technologies using in that field. It's actually depend on your perspective and your needs, I think. There is not just a correct answer for that, I think. Yeah. Yeah, okay. The last question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What I've noticed in the presentation, maybe I missed something, but that the analysis has been done is more quantitative, so it's about the text and the words exist on the text, like how many times a word exists, or where the scholar has been lived, or what's the relation between a scholar's research at a teacher or like a student. What I wonder, is there any current study about the meaning of the text, and in terms of understanding the text and try to implement in new issues, like I say, like fatwa, or like an opinion on a current state, like situation happening that hasn't existed before, or developing an opinion, I think the best word. Is there any studies on or projects on that aspect you're aware of, or?
It's also very dependent on the methodology, because it's large language models going to do so. Maybe you need to question the methodology again to construct the meaning.